you know what the funny thing is? Bahauddin, the Baha'i religion, him and Mirza Qadiani, they came at the same time. Isn't that coincidental? But the difference is Mirza Qadiani एक फर्द वाहिद का नाम नहीं था, एक movement का नाम. The name of a movement. How did he claim himself to be a Nabi? We must understand the process. Why? Because आज भी कुछ लोग हैं, there are people today who are being enticed by that concept. And one of those, I would call him a mini Dajjal, mini, yeah. You know, like you have mouse and you have Minnie Mouse. Well, if the Mirza Qadiani is Mickey Mouse, well, I'll tell you Minnie Mouse. And the name of Minnie Mouse is a person called Javaid Ahmad Gandhi. Or I just call him Javaid Gandhi. Very, very clever person. Like a snake. लेकिन जिस अंदाज से वो करता है, we think, oh no, that's good. But many people, thousands of people follow Gandhi today in Pakistan. And what do our ulama say? Oh, ji chhode wo to dari munna hai, uski kaun baat kare. No. He is enticing intelligent people by his, and मैं उसके लेक्चर सुन के बड़ा हैरान था कि उलमा haven't picked up on this. हाँ, वो रद्द करते हैं, जुज़वी रद्द. But they don't see the real monster known as Javaid Gandhi. I wish he's still alive. I wish I could ever have the opportunity to debate him and to expose him. Why? Because one of the greatest advocates of Qadianiyat today, I'm saying this on Mimbar Rasul, is Javaid Gandhi. Why? Because he is very sophisticatedly luring people to the concept of rejecting Khatmul. So if you look at Mirza Qadiani, how he started off as a Sufi. He said, oh no, I just have, this is Majazi, not the same as Prophet. That's how he started. In my lecture last time on Khatm al-Nubuwwat, when I came here, I said to you that Khatm al-Nubuwwat is not one concept. Khatm al-Nubuwwat stands on a number of concepts. One of those concepts is that Wahi has come to an end. No one can be the recipient of Wahi. There are other components, I don't want to lecture. Another component of Khatm al-Nubuwwat is Ma'soom al-Khata. Only a prophet can be Ma'soom al-Khata, free from sins, immune from sins, incapable of committing sins. And I talked about this last time. But the way Mirza Qadiani did was that he started his journey, I just was given revelation. And when people asked him the authority, he said, Nabuwwat is finished except for good dreams. So I had a good dream. So he lured people through his dreams. Now you understand, people who talk about their dreams publicly, be careful of such people. Why? A dream is a private affair. What dream you had, keep it to yourself. Don't advertise it on Facebook or on Crapchat. Your dream is for you. But he started to advertise his dreams. And when he started to advertise his dreams, his right-hand man, whose name is Nuruddin, he started to stoke that fire. And said, oh, but if you've got ilham, if you've got revelation, then carry on. Now he needed to find an avenue to make his base. So you know what his base was? No one else did this. In the history of Dajjals, ye jo kaam Mirza Qadiani ne kiya, no one else did this. He was the first one to do this. And you know what that was? He said, Waise main apne aap ko agar Nabi kahun, if I call myself a Nabi, no one will accept me. But I know that there's another Nabi coming, and his name is Isa alayhis salam. But actually, I am Isa. I am Jesus. Well, actually, in one book he actually said, so then you build up that. So then you build up that following, and the next stage is, if you don't accept my ilham, if you don't accept my news, you are a kafir. Because Munazirana background, he was a munazir. So he said, if you don't accept it, this is kufr. And then the next stage he did was to claim that there is no such a thing as the coming of Isa alayhi salam. I am Jesus. In fact, the hadith doesn't talk about Jesus. That the hadith talks about Al-Masih. He said Al-Masih. He said, well, Isa like tasawwur hai. Asal mein Al-Masih hai. It's actually Al-Masih. And you know what Javaid Ghamdi says? He said, देखिए वो अब इसमें तो इख्तिलाफ है ना, इन्नी मुतवफ़ी का व राफ़ी का, इसमें तो इख्तिलाफ है. लेकिन एक बात तो, one thing is for sure, Jesus has passed away. Jesus has died. Maybe not on the cross, maybe not at the hands of the Romans, but he's passed away. So Ghamdi created a platform for him. Jesus is gone. That's why you may have seen on the internet, some people say in Kashmir, there is a mazar, and they say that's the mazar of Isa alayhi salam. So they believe he's gone. Isa alayhi salam is gone. Once they finish him off, अब वो जो हदीस है कि वो शाम की मस्जिद में सुफेद मीनार, that minaret, he said, ये कौन सी मुश्किल बात है? In Qadian he constructed a white minaret. He said, this is the someone, this is an image which is given. So what he did was that the difference between his declaration of Nubuwwat and the previous was, he impersonated Al-Masih. That was the difference between him and the others. He impersonated Al-Masih. And he said, no, there's no such a thing as the coming of Jesus. I am Jesus, I am Al-Masih. And so therefore, he found himself in those shoes and then declared the Nubuwwat. Now, you'll ask me, now you understand why there is a connection between Khatm al-Nubuwwat and Jesus. Because one of the arguments the Qadianis use is, they say, look, you say the Prophet ﷺ is the last prophet? Yes, he is. Is Isa ﷺ going to come? Yes, he is. Well, he's a prophet. You see the argument. Is the Prophet ﷺ the last prophet or not? Yes. He is. Do we believe that Isa ﷺ is going to come after him or not? Yes. Well, then how can he be the last? You see this argument? We have to understand the concept which they are trying to peddle. And then they say, look at all these Sufis who claim that they had ilham and all of this, and he uses that to back. No. Those Sufiya and awliya, they talked of their ilham as ummatis, but it wasn't ilham as prophets. It was ilham as ummatis. You can have ilham, I can have ilham. For alhamaha, fujuraha, wa taqwaha. Anyone can have ilham. That's not a monopoly on anyone. But what Ghamdi did, he said, देखिए जी वो सूफिया ने भी तो दावे किए, तो अगर इसने कर दिया तो क्या फर्क है? अगर उनका मजाजी दावा है, इसका भी मजाजी दावा है. You see how careful he was? He said, if the Sufiya, they declared tenets of prophethood, that is interpreted as majaz, as metaphorical. Therefore, Mirza Qadian, if he did it, that's metaphorical. And in one lecture, Ghamdi said, he said, very, very simple, 3 things. The first thing is, how equipped are you, every one of you, despite your age, despite your education, how equipped are you to deal with a Qadiani and to impress upon him that his evidence is wrong and what you believe is right. You can't say, oh, you are wrong, come on, take a share. You go to any Qadiani, आप किसी भी Qadiani से मिल ले, वो मुलाकात बाद में करेगा, पहले 5 मिनट में 4 आयतें सुनाएगा आपको. और हमारे लोग, no जी, ये तो मौलवियों का काम है. This is not our duty. So, the first question you have to ask yourself is, how prepared are you, how equipped are you to be able to have a discussion with, number 1, and number 2, to overwhelm a Qadiani. And if your answer is, I don't know, then I'm sorry, get off your royal backside and start studying. There's no excuse. I can't read or no. You must find out. You must ask ulama. You must educate yourself so that you are a walking, talking ambassador of Khatm al-Nubuwwat. This is what Khatm al-Nubuwwat conference wants from you. Every one of you should be a walking, talking ambassador of Khatm al-Nubuwwat. And if you're not, you can carry on coming to Mahfil. Subhanallah, mashallah, nare takbir, ani langar mein kya hai? You ain't going anywhere. You're not doing justice to Khatm al-Nubuwwat. Justice to Khatm al-Nubuwwat is you start a journey of trying to understand what is the onslaught of Mirza Qadiani, because the most sophisticated Dajjal in all of those Dajjals is Mirza Qadiani. Number one. Number two, you need to understand